Do you feel like you're a bad person if you stay friends with someone who's friends with a bad person? I'll put it to you like this. If you had a homie who came into your life and he was hella cool and stuff, you liked him, he was like almost your best friend, and then you found out that he also was besties with R. Kelly, and then also hanging out with Donald Trump, it's like, okay, you'd be kind of looking at him a little funny, but would you stay his friend? Because would you have the mindset of, oh, that's his friends, not mine? Or would you be like, this nigga's weird? To me, birds of a feather flock together. There's no reason you would be friends with those people with like if you really strongly believed in your morals and values, like you said you did. Or two, like, yeah, you must got the freaky shit in common with them. Like y'all some freaky ass niggas, some 69 gods. I'm not fucking with it. Now, this could have a lot of moral implications. For example, I'm not an innocent person. No, I was in a relationship once where me and that nigga were both cartoonishly evil to each other. But guess what? You know, it makes sense in some situations that other people, like, for example, actually, there's multiple relationships where there's been cartoonishly evil hijinks that have happened as we dated. Sometimes shit just happens. I know that when me and Morgan dated, he did a lot of shit. Some shit could be brushed off as haha toxic. Some shit would need him to be on a watch list because it's disgusting what he tried. I told as much of his friends and family about it. They did not give a single shit. Why? Because it's family. And like, if anything, they were more like, "Hey, can you like stop talking to this bitch? She keeps contacting us in this group chat, and we don't know how she got our phone numbers." You know, and like they otherwise did not give a single shit. They still like had him at their businesses, at their jobs, doing this, doing that. They didn't give a fuck. And then as for like even me, yeah, with another relationship I was in, I diced that nigga up on his front porch. It was one of those relationships where some people can debate. To me, that was reactive abuse. He was being psychologically abusive to you over and over and over, as well as verbally abusive and condescending. Yeah, but it's like, do I really have to? It's like, Anyway, I don't have any real regrets about the situation. It's more of those things where it's like it happened, and I will stay away from any neighborhood or space I will think he will be at because the last thing I want is to just nah. It was one of those things where the situation was fucked up all around. I did some shit that was fucked up and I feel bad about. He did some shit that he entirely does not regret. So it's like, eh. It's like, eh. All I gotta do is keep the fuck away from that nigga and we should be fine. But what weirded me out was that several of his friends knew what happened. Like they knew the whole story. I even like one of them, but it's like they stuck around. Why? Because I guess they thought, oh, well, she's funny and smart and attractive, and I want to be around her. She's such a great energy. And I thought to myself, nigga, that's been your friend, like from for somewhere between 3 years to 10 years. That's been your friend. You know, I made that nigga's nose bleed. I was a vicious, mean, evil, scary ass person at the end of our relationship, and you still want to date me, or you still want to be friends with me? And they'd be like, yeah, well, you know, your business is your business. It's like, yeah, but that's your friend though. That's what kind of gets me. It's like, okay, I'm glad that sometimes people can be like, oh well, you know what, you have potential to grow and live as and exist as a person too, and it was a while ago. It's like it wasn't that fucking long ago, first of all. At least back then when I was having this conversation. But then second off, it's like it's no real loyalty. It's like, damn. But then again, with that one specific ex, he was not the most interesting guy, not the most nice guy, not the most thoughtful or funny or cool. So to him, it's like, oh, okay, that's just my. Like, I remember at some point I was like, isn't that your best friend? And he looked at me and he was like, he said I was his best friend? And I said, yeah. And he was like, oh, what a strange thing for him to say. But yeah, we were housemates and kind of cool, I guess. We talked sometime, nothing much. I was like, damn, my heart. I don't even like that nigga, and my heart hurts for him. Fuck. But for another dude, it's like they were really, really like friends. And so it's just like, oh, okay. So it's like one nigga was fully willing to just be like, oh, okay, this chick's a million red flags in a very pretty form. So I'm going to ignore all of this because she's really fucking hot and I want to be able to date her or fuck her someday. And then the second guy was like, oh, well, she's a lot more cool than Patrick was. She's just a lot better. And I like her. And I can be both of their friends and it can work out as long as they don't talk to each other and I don't mention them to the other. It's like, good idea in concept, bad idea long term. And let's just say the friendship ended over related reasons. But ironically, like 2, 3 years later. Also, some people don't give a shit if you like. Some people think you're able to grow and change. Some people think that the dust can settle and people can like rebuild their lives separately and things can be okay. Other people, why did a fly just try to go up my nose? You saw that, right? Why did they do that? I don't like that. God, that hurts. God, one went up the other night and didn't come back out. I don't know what that's gonna do for me. Fucking Jesus, racist ass flies. Jesus. Anyway, as I was saying, some people don't give a shit if you're a good person or not. Like, for example, I remember in high school, there was this guy I dated for a single 24 hours, and he showed me how racist and creepy he was in that 24 hours. Let's just say opened up to him about how I don't like rape jokes because of my trauma. See, it went up again. What the fuck? Did you see that time? It tried again. See, this is why. Oh, I need to get some raid. I hate flies. I hate summer. These need to die. Why are flies still alive? Jesus Christ. I swear to God, if it does it a third time. So let's just say, motherfucking. Sorry, I'm trying not to get angry. Oh, yeah, but. Oh, yeah, I told him about, like, what happened to me that, like, someone he knows and was a mutual friend of did. And how that fucked me up because it happened to me like freshman year of high school and it really set me back for the whole rest of the year. And I told him in depth how it fucked me up and traumatized me, like the physical stuff, the sexual stuff, how it wasn't great. And that nigga was like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, that's terrible. I'm so sorry that happened. Yeah, that's really fucked up. You didn't deserve that. But then he also, in the same breath, he was like, yeah, but I'm still gonna be friends with him though, because, you know, he's the meme king. It's like nigga, why is your first thought like I didn't even say that in the friendship, but the fact that you were just bum rushing and desperate to be like, oh yeah, the dude who was sexually abusive towards you and trying to force you into sex all the time. Oh yeah, well I don't know. He's really good at posting memes. It's like you could get memes from any fucking person out there, and you're just like, I'm gonna keep like, nigga, what? That's a wild sentence. And so then it's like, cool, nigga, now you look like a terrible person because you just told a rape victim to their face that it's like, hi, sorry you got raped, but I really need more memes with like text overlay on top of photos of Vegeta with slightly racist captions. I need more Bad Luck Brian memes and weird shit posts and deep fried edgy memes. It's like, nigga, really? That was like, oh, okay, you're fucking terrible. I remember another dude who I dated, and we also didn't last very long. Fucking hate this dude, Devin. Fucking Devin. Suck my dick, Devin. He wasn't even friends with the guy who raped me. But guess what? I told him about what happened to me too, and it's one of those things where I also always told these people to just keep it private and that I wasn't trying to have word get around and stuff because I wasn't trying to start drama, but that I just was opening up to them because we were a thing and it's relevant. And then that nigga did the same thing. He was like, "Oh yeah, well that doesn't change my opinion if I'm gonna be friends with him or not." It's like, but then again, Devin was the type of dude to just like say, "Ooh, so many women like to lie on men just to ruin their reputation," and like his only source for that were like 4chan green texts. Devin was fucking stupid, and I'm pretty sure he was not even an ephebophile, more like a, yeah. Let's just say Devin needs to be on a watch list. Let's just say Devin had thoughts for his younger cousin, and I think Devin should get his throat slit to this day. Devin's gonna burn in hell. Freaky ass nigga 69 God, birds of a feather flock together because guess what? The guy I dated, John, for 24 hours, yeah, he was exposed for being racist as fuck and almost got expelled over it. And then, yeah, Devin, well, it's like, yeah, definitely some like pedophile aligned behavior, and he also was into incest. He was a mess. If I could rewind time, I'd be like, get away from these men, please. There's better people to split the bill over. Like, don't even split the. Why are you splitting the bill? Just to be tormented by these dudes who think SpongeBob is like the best groundbreaking entertainment ever. Fucking Jesus. Anyway, yeah, I think that usually it says a lot about a person who they're willing to be friends with because it's like, why do you want to be in touch with them? If you know that nigga's touching on kids, why are you trying to stay in touch with him? Oh, okay, because you're okay with him touching on kids if it means you can have a good laugh at a family reunion every once in a while. Nasty motherfucker. Oh, so that guy who shot his wife in the face, you're still getting beers with him because why? I actually had to cut off a few friends recently this summer for the same shit because it's like, nope, you can't be the one who saw me cry for months about how fucked up my last claimed relationship was, about how he was doing shit to me that was sexually inappropriate and evil and fucked up and violent. You can't sit there and then be like, hey, I see that guy Jared at a bar. I'm gonna start clinking drinks with him and like hanging out and vibing and shaking hands with him, knowing who he is. And then I DM'd him about it, and then it's just like, yeah, I cut off plenty of fucking people because it's like, why are you still following him on Instagram? Why would you see him in public and decide to befriend him? You know what he did to me. So clearly you don't fuck with me that much, so we're ending contact. And then those people threw a fucking fit because they were so mad that I had the audacity to cut off access to me because their little stupid asses wanted to have their cake and eat it too. It's like, sorry, you can't be friends with the rape victim as well as the rapist. It's like either you fuck with rapists or you support women. That's how it works. So I always look at people a little different, especially when it comes to like their music tastes and the people they'll pay to see and like what they do with their free time. It's like, I don't know, because that's just weird. It's always weird. Even as someone who has done fucked up shit and been forgiven by other people for it, it's good to know that some people still can accept me for my flaws and stuff. But some people, otherwise, it's like, these niggas are trying to force women to drink at bars when they said they're sober and they're throwing hissy fits about it, and you're hanging out with that nigga. That's weird. That nigga was beating up his pregnant baby mama and rubbing blood all over her, and you're out here supporting him in the comedy scene. That's weird. You're weird. And if anything, a recent friend of mine, I left a voicemail to him dragging him for filth because we aren't really friends anymore. We just like, I don't know. I'm not an enemy, but we aren't allies, let's say. I had to tell him, it's like, yeah, dude, it's really fucked up. How, guess what? You, if you were in the same shoes as me, and you were with those two men, those comedians, and you're sober. If those men were trying to get you to drink and drink and drink and you kept rejecting it, and then they asked you like 8 to 12 times to drink, and then when you had to reassure, like, no, I can't, I have a health issue, I really, really can't, it's not good for me, they started death glaring at you and slamming their fists on the table and getting really aggressive and abrasive and threatening, you'd know how bad that felt. So imagine how it felt to be me at 2 a.m. with these two dudes who I thought were safe men. And they are giving me a much worse treatment. And you know what can happen to women when they get drunk, so that's another sinister overlay. And you yourself still sat there and defended them to me, as they, even knowing that they also, in that same night, before that, defended a known rapist in the comedy scene who got arrested and is facing criminal charges for his fucked up actions. Like, nigga, you sat there and stayed friends with him, and you stayed friends with them, and you probably talked to them more than you talked to me, and yet I'm supposed to believe that I'm really someone you care about, when the whole time, like, they get quicker responses to my text than I do. You only talk to me when you need something. Fuck you. Yeah, it says a lot about a person, the types of people they hang out with, so just keep an eye on that, because if you hang out with racists, you're a fucking racist. Like, yeah, it's like you should not be friends with a dude who's like a neo-Nazi or drugs drinks, because why the fuck were you just sitting there as he's saying racist shit and drugging drinks? You're also just as complicit. Like, you're weird. You're enabling it, and enablers usually they just want people to get away with the same shit because they secretly hope to do it too. Now, peace out.